My name is Hart, recreational video creator on YouTube. I never believed in ghosts until I came face to face with one. I've started paying a $5 for Discovery Plus, and you're damn right I'm going to get my money for it. Hello! Hope you're all doing well, and you're having a good week, and a good day, night, whatever. Today we're talking about more tattoo stuff, because it's been a while since we did that. I know, been a very, very long time. Long story short, I'm getting another tattoo very, very soon, and I'm so excited. And I've already talked you guys through how I care for a tattoo after I've got it, but I've not told you about how I prepare to get the tattoo. So that's what I'm going to do today. Bit backwards, I know, but just go with it, alright? So this is my guide, kind of, to tattoo preparations, what I do to prepare for a tattoo. Please remember, everybody is different. Just because this works for me the best doesn't mean it'll necessarily work for you or your pal the best. Everybody's different. Just do what works for you and what keeps you comfortable, because obviously getting a tattoo puts your body through a lot of stress that you might not even realise it. But this is what works for me. If you want to give that a go, be my guest, alright? But it might not work for you, so just keep that in mind. Do not shoot me, please. These prep tips were also from my pre-pandemonium tattoos, so please keep in mind, follow the local rules in your area, whatever's right for you, whatever restrictions, and please don't stop wearing your mask. Another thing worthy of note, I am prone to fainting. Sometimes. I have never fainted with getting a tattoo. I've only really passed out with other forms of needles, for example piercings, medical jags, etc. But for tattoos I've never passed out, and I think it's because I take these steps. And it's also kind of different. It's not quite the same as getting an actual... Let's not think about it too much, because I will start to get the brain tingles and I'll pass out. Anyway, on with the show. Here we go. I've tried to separate our plan into the days prior to getting a tattoo and then the day of the tattoo. Just because that's easier for my brain to handle, because there's quite a few things to get through. Other than separating them into prior to and the day of, there is no particular order to these. So, kicking it off with the prior to, buy your cream before you go in to get it. Some tattoo artists do recommend for their style of tattoo that this cream works better in that, which is fine, but I have sensitive skin, and sometimes what they recommend does not bode well with my skin. The Panthen used to be the go-to, but they've changed their formula, so I'd maybe keep away from that one. It might not be as good for tattoos now that it used to be. I go for E45 because I'm basic and simple. Cocoa butter also works, but that made me break out in a rash because I am that sensitive. My body cannot handle cocoa butter, and the smell makes me physically ill. So E45 is the one for me. Also cling film as well. I mean, that kind of depends on your own method of how you heal your tattoo afterwards, but I like to make sure I've got a nice fresh roll and a nice fresh tub of cream. No matter how I decide to heal it or how the tattoo artist tells me to heal it, at least I've got plenty of stuff that's nice and fresh and not been sat in a cupboard for ages, possibly out of date and covered in germs. And depending on the area and the time of year, whatever as well, I scrub off any and all fake tan that might be on. I don't wear fake tan nearly as often as I used to, because I can't be bothered putting it on, to be honest, but if I do happen to have it on before going in for a tattoo, in the weeks or days leading up to it, when I have a shower, try and scrub it off. I don't even know if having tan on would be that problematic for getting a tattoo with. I just want to make sure my skin's as clean as possible and not have that worry in the back of my mind, because my skin is so sensitive. I don't want to risk it at all. So I'll either scrub it off or I won't tan in the weeks leading up to the tattoo. And I mean, right now it's summer, I am sweating buckets, so there's been no need for me to put tan on. I don't know your personal stance on shaving, but if you're going to get a tattoo, no matter where it is on your body, the artist will probably shave the area before tattooing it, just to make sure there's no hairs in the way. Don't shave it yourself though. Do not shave yourself the day before thinking that's going to help, because then you'll have the little prickly bits coming through, perhaps razor burn. Not good to tattoo over irritated skin and that, so just leave the shaving to the person. It's not embarrassing. But at the end of the day, it is just something that they do. They will shave you no matter where it is on your body. Posture check. Ah, Christ, my back. Also, clear your schedule. No matter what your tattoo is, big, small, whatever, I think it's always best just to not have things to do later on in the day, no matter how early you book your appointment or that, because you can never be too sure. For the tattoo to be good, the artist could easily run over. It just depends on their speed and the detail of your tattoo, the size of it. The biggest tattoo I've got is my tiger one on my thigh, and that took me from 10 in the morning to 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm pretty sure I had class at 2. I had a tutorial at 2 o'clock at the uni. I mean, the tattoo place wasn't far away from the uni, but there was no chance in hell I was sat with my leg out, bleeding all over, down my thigh. No thank you, no happening. Sat in a wee stuffy room. Ugh, that'd be the worst shit ever. Make sure you've got nothing to do in the afternoon, or if it is something to do, it's not something that's time constricted or important, because you will not make it. Because it does take a lot out of your body, really, being stabbed thousands of times over. with inky needles. It takes a lot out of you, so just clear your schedule. Because you won't want to do anything after you get it. It's like physically exhausting. And of course, the day before you go, get to bed early. Try and give yourself a good night's sleep because like I said, your body is going to go through a lot the next day. You really want to make sure that you've got all the energy and whatever to keep you going. Not worse than being overtired and stressed out because you're tired and then just being bombarded with pain. At the end of the day, not gonna lie to you, tattoos hurt. That was the worst Nessa impression I've ever heard in my life. I'm so embarrassed.
Oh! What's occurring?
Also, I think this goes without saying as well, but don't go hungover to your tattoo appointment or don't drink alcohol the night before. Not only will you feel like absolute shit the next day, and it will just make it so much harder for you to sit nice, but alcohol thins your blood. Because even if the next day you're sober, there's still alcohol in your system, your blood's still going to be a bit thinner. It just makes it a bit messy and not nice and not comfortable. So just try not to drink the night before, yeah? Now here's where we're going to get onto the stuff to do the day of your tattoo. Alright, first things first, get up nice and breezy and early, give yourself plenty of time to prepare mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, right? Hopefully you've had a good night's sleep by now and you've not been out on town all night. Obviously depending on the time that your tattoo is at, whether it's in the morning, the afternoon, I like to have a big breakfast or a big meal before I go just to make sure I've got a full stomach so I don't feel too queasy or like faint or nauseous or anything. For example, a full Scottish breakfast, a Greggs, a McDonald's, something like big, carby, greasy, plenty of substance, right? And also before I go, I like to down a full bottle of water and a bottle of full fat Coke just to make sure that I stay hydrated and that my blood sugar ain't low.
Is your blood sugar low?
Not only will that just make you feel a bit better, but also for me in terms of stopping possibly fainting, those are the two things that I've been told off in the past for when I have fainted, either not having a high enough blood sugar or not being hydrated enough. So I make sure I drink plenty of both of those before I go. I also take a bottle of water and a bottle of Coke with me because they do say like you're allowed to bring juice or a wee snack just to make sure that you keep yourself sustained, because if you don't, you can start to feel faint or queasy or a bit dizzy. Your body does go through a lot of pain and you just have to sit there and take it. It's not nice. It's not a nice process, I tell you. I also like to dress incredibly comfy. I will wear the comfiest clothes I have. Obviously in the middle of summer it's going to have to be weather permitting, but I like to wear nice, comfy, breathable clothes that make sure that the tattoo area is easily accessible. Wear something baggy that can easily be moved, that you're going to be comfortable, you're not going to have to expose too much of yourself if you don't really want to, just to make sure that you are the most comfortable that you could be. Also because you don't know how long you're going to be sat there, you don't want to be sat in an outfit that's starting to itch or chafe or something like that. You want to be just comfy as anything. Take a charger with you for your phone, take your phone, take your iPad, or like take earphones or a book. Just something that like if you are sat there for a longer time, if you need something to entertain yourself, take your mind off it, you have something there. Most of the time I've been kind of alright. I've scrolled on my phone a bit, but I've just been able to chat to the artist fine. But there are a lot of artists out there that don't really like to speak when they're working, or the vibe's just not there, so you might just feel better having an earphone in, or sometimes you're just sat there for that long of a time. Say you're getting a big back piece, you're sat there for so long that you run out of things to speak about, so you're like, I'm just gonna put my earphones in, read my book, whatever. Just something that if need be it can take your mind off it and make you feel a little bit better, because like I said, your body is going through the ringer, a big spiky needle covered ringer. That's kind of it. Those are my main tips for how to prepare for a tattoo, or what I do to prepare for a tattoo. I hope that was maybe helpful to some of you if you needed help. If you didn't, keep this in mind if you ever decide to get a tattoo. If you have tattoos, let me know what some of your tips for getting one is. What do you do? What's your little preparation ritual? But other than that, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to try and take you along to the tattoo place with me to get the tattoo, if I can, if I'm not too shy to be like, hi, can I film getting my tattoo place? But let me know your top tips for how you take care of your own tattoos, or if my tips happen to help you when you next go for a tattoo, or if it makes your process way worse. I'll put links and cards to my other tattoo videos if you'd like to go and watch them. I'll also leave in the description box below links to all of my other social medias and the subscribe button. If you would be so kind as to hit the subscribe button and maybe the like button and all, I would so love to have you back next week. It'd be very fun. Thank you for joining me this week. But other than that, I am off. But I have a good one and I shall see you next Tuesday. Bye, have a great time.